What's up, you guys? Welcome to my May Plan With Me bullet journal update video. Today's video, we're going to cover my May monthly and weekly setups, then review last month's April spreads in case you guys need a few new ideas out there, and then we'll end with the new supplies I got this past month and a big announcement. I'm so excited. I'm going to be giving away a journal and a few accessories at the end of every single one of these Plan With Me bullet journal update videos. So if you guys are interested in this month's bundle, please be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm going to be giving out a bundle once a month, at least till the end of this year, so be sure to come back and check it out. And as always, you guys, everything mentioned or used in today's video, along with all of my classic supplies, will be written down below in that description box in case you guys are interested. And if you guys are brand new to bullet journaling or brand new to my personal series, I highly recommend watching my very first bullet journal video if you need a comprehensive startup guide that really explains the system itself. Alright, so back to our May cover page, the live drawing on screen. This month I felt really tropical, and I had this fantastic tutorial made by my homegirl INKBYJENG. You guys know how much I love her and her artwork and her Etsy shop, so I used her simple tutorial to create this nice like canopy of banana leaves. I like that the composition of this page was actually pretty minimal, but you still got those bright tropical vibes going on. So I drew everything with my Micron Pigma pen, and then I used a little mixture of my Tombow dual brush pens and some water and a paintbrush to kind of diffuse the water for a nice watercolor look. Jang also recommended to use the Pigma pens because they will not bleed whenever you put the water and the ink on top. So I love how this looked. Thank you so much for the tips, girl. If you guys are interested in copying something like this, I'll link her information in her tutorial down below so you guys can make your own little banana leaf collage. So I hope you guys like how mine turned out. Let's go ahead and move on to our monthly log setup. And a quick little side note, the paper does get a little bit crinkly due to the water, but the actual color barely bled to the back of the page. I was actually in shock, but for the sake of it being on camera and I wanted to be as smooth as possible, I did skip these two pages. Just want to give you guys a heads up in case you run into the same situation. So for my May monthly log, I'm sorry to be so boring, but we got the same calendar box setup here. It is still so effective for me visually, and I'm just gonna keep rolling with it until I feel like I need to do something new. For the top, I just did simple May block letters to match the cover page, and then I also did another INKBYJENG leaf tutorial. These are the Monstera leaves. Also super cute and simple. I'll include this tutorial down below in that description box too. Now for the right hand side of my calendar, I am switching some things up. I am following like the more traditional style of the bullet journal monthly log system. I have one column that's every single digit of the month, and then the other column is going to be an abbreviated first letter for the actual day. So like Monday 1, Tuesday 2, Wednesday 3, Thursday 4, you kind of get it. So what I was experiencing is that I would try to chronologically order all of my events, and I would end up with all this weird spacing. So I figure having something structured like this can help me organize my dates better, and I just think it looks visually more appealing and symmetrical. Excited to give this version a shot, and then as you see, I'm doing some calligraphy. I'm trying to get better at it, and I'm using my new Tombow calligraphy pens, and I thought it looked really nice. So I've got my events on the right hand side, and then down below I just have notes for this open area for anything that's overarching for the month. So just a very minor tweak on the same template that you guys have seen many times before. For some reason, I just felt like this month was a little bit cleaner, and I really liked it. So last things for decor, I did my Tombow dual brush pens with a yellow orange ombre for the font, which you'll see me change my mind in just a minute. And then for coloring in my leaves, I wanted to try a different medium. So I went to Daiso and I got this plastic tray, this brush, and also a paint set. Each of them were only $1.50, so like under $5 for this entire set. I diluted the paint with a lot of water. I went to town, and I just thought it was so pretty and it was so therapeutic. I really loved painting these. So I can't figure out if I like using this over the Tombows, but I like to mix and match and just kind of go with the flow, you know? Sometimes it looks hella good and sometimes it looks really bad. Either way, the whole point is just to experiment and just to enjoy the process. So as you can see, I changed my mind on the colors. I painted everything black so I have a more minimalist palette, and I ended up liking it a lot more. So this is my final monthly log. I've got my May title with my cute little watercolor leaves. I've got my big calendar view so I can see where all my dates fall within the month. I've got an open area for just any type of notes I want to take throughout the month, and then the right hand side I have a nice organized template to list out all my events as they occur chronologically down in the month. Really love this. Hope you guys like it too. Let's now move ahead to our monthly trackers. So you guys have seen me do multiple trackers in the past. This month I'm switching it up and just focusing on one main thing, which is a sleep tracker. This is something new, and this is something that I know I've been needing to keep track of because I do not sleep. So I'm utilizing the full page for this. I'm doing it vertical style. The top x-axis is going to have the actual hours of the night into the morning, and then the left hand side I did kind of like that bullet journal monthly log style where I have every single digit day in addition to the abbreviation for the day that it falls on. So how this will work is every day I will just keep track of the actual hours I slept, and then I'm going to take my mild liner and just highlight the hours that I slept for that day. That way at the end of the month I can see all of the bars and I can kind of calculate, you know, which days I'm sleeping more, sleeping less, when I'm falling asleep. It'll just be really cool to check this out, and most importantly, you know, just keep myself accountable for how much I need to be sleeping. Then on the right hand side, I just kept this more open-ended. I did my calligraphy with my Tombow pen, and I just have a top area for YouTube for any type of video planning, and then the bottom is just open-ended priorities that I need to kind of be focused on throughout the month. So I'm pretty happy how this turned out so far. Just really simple. If I can think of other things I need to keep track of, I could probably optimize this page a little more. I then realized that I wanted to match the sleep title to the intensity to the right, so I just went over it with the same Tombow calligraphy pen, and then I kind of decorated the sleep with some of the fine tipped points of the Tombow pen with some little clouds and a moon and some stars. Sorry, nothing too crazy this month, but I hope you guys like how this one turned out. Let's go ahead and move on to our first May weekly log. As I always start out every single week, I'm cutting out my INKBYJENG mini calendar sticker set, and instead of putting it on the left hand side, oh no, I'm putting it on the right hand side this week. Watch out. After I slap that guy on, I then take one of my mild liners and I like to just highlight the actual week that I'm in so I can see where I'm falling within the month. So then for the actual daily boxes, I did just some horizontal lines for each side of the page. And then since things were going to get kind of thrown off because of that right hand margin underneath the calendar, I gave myself some extra height to the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday areas on the right hand side of my 2-page spread. That way, even though it's kind of lopsided, I still hopefully get the same amount of writing space for each day. So then for that right hand margin, I did a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday abbreviation. This is going to be my area for listing out any of my major appointments. I'm trying this out where I'm separating my tasks from my appointments, so we'll see how this goes. One big benefit that I see is that whenever I have a lot of daily tasks, sometimes important appointments or events might get kind of visually, you know, skimmed over amongst all the writing. So I'll give you guys an update next month if I like this or not. And then for the bottom right hand corner, I just copied the theme with that same Monstera leaf. And then I just added a few more details with my mild liner. I was definitely into the green and black this month, so I just went ham with it. And then I finished up with the same watercolor on my Monstera leaf. Alright, so that does it for my first weekly log of May. I've got my lopsided boxes. I still think it looks really clean, and surprisingly it didn't bother me at all. So nice and minimalist. I've got enough writing space for each day of the week, and then I've got a right hand side column dedicated to only events and appointments. Alright y'all, so that does it for our May Plan With Me session. I hope you guys like my cover page, my monthly log, my tracker, and also my weekly log. Let's go ahead and go back to April and just do a quick recap on the stuff that you guys missed. This is where I left you guys last time. Spread number 1 was a double margin on the sides with all of the daily content in the center. I separated each day by a personal and work divider, and this one was very nice. Felt a little bit jammed for that week for some reason, so the next week I eliminated the outside columns and just did a full spread on each side of the page. I still kept the dividers, which is very helpful whenever I have a lot of, you know, different types of tasks for each day. And then I had just an open area on the bottom. And the one thing that drove me crazy was I couldn't figure out what to do for that top one. So the next page, I decided to do my box dailies to switch things up. I used the pretty washi tape, as you guys saw in my last month's video, just to spruce things up aesthetically. And then the last week, I got kind of lazy and just did horizontal rows for most of the days of the week. And then as you can see, by the weekend, I just gave up and just did some calligraphy and left it open-ended. So I just switched things up depending depending on my mood, what I'm feeling, what time I have. You never have to make it as complicated as I show you guys. You can make it as simple as possible, but I hope you guys get a lot of different ideas on different spreads from, you know, watching my variations. So that's it for all of our weekly spreads and monthly spreads. Let's go ahead and talk about some new supplies. If you're an office supply nerd like me, you guys will definitely dig this section of my videos. First up, I finally invested in a couple sets of the Tombow dual brush pens that you saw me use throughout this video. I got the bright color set, the secondary palette, and also the grayscale palette. All of them are fantastic. You can use them for just some beautiful hand calligraphy. I'm still getting the hang of it, so forgive me that mine doesn't look that great. Either way, it is so much fun to practice, and it's just very therapeutic for all you artistic folk out there. Really cool thing about these is that the other side has a fine tip marker in case you need actual detailing. And then as you guys saw, I used the Tombow pens as kind of like a watercolor. I laid that down on top of my Micron Pigma pen outline, and then used a simple brush dipped in water to pool the ink left and right to create different ombre effects. Thank you so much, INKBYJENG, for the recommendation. I really love using this. So those are the 3 sets I got. I might get some more in the future, but these are definitely going to keep me set for a while. The pen that you guys have seen is the Uni Jetstream Rollerball pen. This is the 0.38mm tip, and I got the lavender color. I didn't realize when I first got this that it's all just black ink, but the outer colors are different. Love this one for a more fainter, less intense black, but still has that nice fine tip. And then the next pair of pens, holy macaroni. These are like my favorite pens of all time. These are going to be the Uniball Signo RTI gel pens. I have it in both the 0.28 and the 0.38mm tips. This is just the inkiest, most fluid dark black with the finest tip gel pen that I found, and I like that it's very comfortable with the rubber grip, also the convenience of the clicker on the back. So combines all the things that I really love in an everyday writing pen all in one. And the next item is a pencil. I feel like this is more of like a novelty item, but I think it's really cool and cute. This is one of those shaker pencils. This is the Pilot Furry Corone, hope I'm saying that right, pencils in 0.3 lead. So you can use it as a traditional mechanical pencil by putting the pressure on the back end so the lead comes out over and over again. Or how this is supposed to function is that you can literally just shake this guy and the pressure from the back just jettisons the lead out as if you were clicking it. So it saves you maybe about like 1 second when you're writing. I think it's really cool. So I just want to show you guys in case any of you school supply nerds have not seen this before. It kind of blew my mind and I think it's really cute. Last but not least, you guys, I have 2 of my Tombow Furunosuke brush pens. Oh my god, I know I'm butchering that. I'm so sorry, you guys, but these are the calligraphy pens that I used earlier when I was writing the titles for my tracker. I have a set of 2. One is a hard tip and one is a soft tip. And basically that just means that the soft tip has more flexibility versus the hard tip that's a little bit more rigid. It just gives you a different effect of your overall calligraphy whenever you're doing your fatter downstrokes and your thinner upstrokes. In my opinion, you can definitely get more of like a precise, crisp look with the hard tip, and then the soft tip gives you more of like a wider brush feel. Alright, so those are all my new supplies for the month. Let's go ahead and talk about the May bullet journal giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a brand new LEUCHTTURM 1917 black hardcover dotted journal, a INKBYJENG everyday daily task stencil, a Uni Jetstream 0.38 rollerball pen, a Uniball Signo RT1 gel pen also in 0.38, and then I found this adorable little journal at Daiso and I could not resist. This one is just a simple regular ruled journal, so you guys have some variety there in comparison to the dots for some note taking. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is just a simple 5-item starter kit for anyone out there looking to start their very own journal. If you guys are interested in winning this 5-item prize bundle, all you gotta do is be sure that you're subscribed to the Miss Louie channel. Go ahead and hit that red button down below to join the Miss Louie family. We would love to have you. And number 2, please leave a comment down below to this exact video. Write whatever you like. There's no limit to comments. Just make sure to leave it down below so that you're entered. Then also, this is going to be ending at the very end of the month. This will be ending May 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and it's also open internationally internationally, so please be sure to get your entries in before that time. So good luck everyone. If you happen to not win this time, don't worry, I'm going to do a similar package at the end of every one of my 2017 Plan With Me bullet journal videos, so feel free to join in every month till the end of the year. I hope you guys had a really great time today. As I mentioned before, all the supplies and the giveaway details will be down below in that description bar in case you guys want to check that out. I am so appreciative to all of you and this love for this series. Bullet journaling has been such a fun experience for me, and I'm so happy to share something so personal to me with all of you. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe before you go. And if you dig this series, feel free to show your girls some love with a thumbs up. I hope you guys are doing so good out there. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in a few days. Bye! Mwah!